Hey guys, what this is, it's a purse rack, and what I'm doing right now is I'm gonna make me some of these pins. So I'm gonna show you how I did it. So first I wanna set up my saw to the width that I need. Yeah. At this point I'm gonna cut it at 9/16 of an inch. I'm gonna cut it square. There we go, 9/16 of an inch square. Now that I might be able to put this in my drill, I gotta get this down so it fits into a 1/2 inch hole. I have a 1/2 inch chuck. Now because this is already set up to clip just the edges, because I've already done some, I'll just do the edge of this first. With this, I'm able to put that in the drill, and that will work as my kind of like a lathe. Um, I'm gonna lower the cutter so I can just barely clip the edges of this. Okay, now that I've lowered the cutter, I'll just clip the edges. Now that is all broken on the edges, I can take it over to a little jig that I made, and then I'll just use the drill to round it off. Okay, let me go over to the jig. Now, here's the jig that I've been talking about. It's a dowel making jig that I made. I saw this on YouTube. I think the guy that did it, his name is Matthew. You can just look it up. You'll see. Look it up on the dowel making jig or shop made dowel making jig. So all you do, well, first to make it, you put a 9/16 hole or whatever size dowel you want to make. You start with 1/16, 1/16 bigger than the actual diameter you need on your dowel, and then you put it about halfway into the wood. Then you do the hole you need that's gonna make the size of the dowel you need. This one is a 1/2 inch dowel, so I did a 9/16 entry hole and a 1/2 inch exit hole. But I want this to fit a little tighter, so what I did was I shim it up with a piece of sandpaper, and that makes it a little just a bit bigger than 1/2 inch. That way it fits into the hole. Um, so now let me put this into the drill and show you how it works. So you stick it there, you start it. So there, around stock you have now. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sand it in the drill, just so I don't have the trouble of sanding individual pieces. So I got my sandpaper, and now I just start with 100, then I go 180. And then I just do some buffing with a 360. And if you want it a bit smoother, you just use some sawdust, some shavings. And that's it. I take it out of the drill, and then I'll move on to the next step. Now the next step is on the chop saw. I'm gonna cut them to length, and it's about 4 3/4. So I want to get rid of this end right here that is not all around. So first I'll clip that, then I'll cut it to length. So I changed the cutter in the table, and the cutter I had in there was a 3/8. I put a 1/4 inch quarter round cutter in there, and the purpose of that is to round the top of the pegs. So I put the cutter in. I put a piece of wood clamped to the router table, and then I get the cutter to center the pegs, and now I'll demonstrate how it works. I'm gonna put the wood up against the pin up against the this piece of wood right here, and as the router bit turns, I just turn this with it, and it will just round over the top.